the UK's High Court made this decision just in the last few minutes. Julian Assange has been allowed now to formally ask for an appeal to the UK's highest court, the Supreme Court. So early last year, it was a lower court, the Westminster Magistrates Court, which blocked Julian Assange's extradition to the United States on espionage charges. The court found that there was a very real risk to his health, particularly his mental health, and a risk that he could self-harm. That decision was appealed by the United States government, and they won that appeal in December here in the High Court. The judges found that after the US put forward a package of assurances that essentially Julian Assange could be extradited. So the US said that he wouldn't go into solitary confinement, and they even offered that if found guilty in the US, he could serve time in Australia. Now, Julian Assange's team and his lawyers always argued that those assurances really didn't count for much at all, because the US could essentially reverse them at a later date, and they said they were really meaningless. What happened today is that Julian Assange had to convince the court that there were matters of law that were of general public importance. And that's what the judges here in the High Court have certified today, that there is part of the law that should be considered now by a higher court. Julian Assange has to then formally apply for leave to appeal in the Supreme Court, but it's certainly good news for him and his legal team as he fights to stay out of the US custody.
Yeah. So what do we understand will be the next step in this process, and will he stay in custody during this time?
It's almost certain that he will remain in custody, because up until this point the courts have deemed that he is a flight risk and that he should remain in custody. Of course, Mr Assange's team says that what's happening to him is an ongoing deterioration. They say that he's suffered a stroke. They say his mental health is getting worse by the day, but it will be up to the court now to decide, the Supreme Court, to decide whether a full appeal should be heard. At the heart of this matter, Bev, is the fact that the US was able to put these assurances on the table at a later point. It lost the case initially, it then won on appeal by, after the fact, trying to come up with a package of assurances to convince the court, and that will be central potentially to any appeal. But a formal process now needs to go to the Supreme Court to see whether a full appeal can be heard.